Notes from Underground by Fyodor Dostoevsky is a profound and introspective novel that delves into the complexities of human psychology and existential dilemmas. Let's go into more detail chapter by chapter. Part 1, Underground. The opening section of Notes from Underground introduces readers to the complex and introspective narrator, an unnamed former civil servant, who has retreated into a state of bitter isolation in St. Petersburg. Through a series of rambling and often contradictory monologues, the underground man reveals his profound disillusionment with society and his deep-seated resentment towards Enlightenment ideals and rationalist philosophies. Critique of rationalism. Dostoevsky uses the underground man's narrative voice to challenge prevailing Enlightenment notions of rationality and progress. The narrator rejects the idea that humans are purely rational beings guided by self-interest, instead emphasizing the irrational and often self-destructive aspects of human behavior. The underground man's cynical outlook serves as a critique of utilitarianism and positivism, highlighting the limitations of deterministic thinking in capturing the complexities of human experience. Existential despair and alienation. Central to Part 1 is the theme of existential despair and profound alienation experienced by the narrator. The underground man's retreat from society reflects a broader sense of disconnection and disillusionment prevalent in 19th-century Russian literature. Through his introspective musings, Dostoevsky invites readers to confront the existential angst of individuals grappling with their own sense of insignificance and existential isolation. Search for authenticity and individuality. The underground man's refusal to conform to societal norms reflects a desperate search for authenticity and autonomy. His introspective monologues reveal a profound desire to assert individuality and defy societal expectations, even at the cost of personal relationships. Dostoevsky highlights the existential imperative of embracing one's own contradictions and asserting personal agency in a world that often seeks to homogenize individual identities. Psychological complexity and inner conflict. Through the narrator's fragmented and contradictory thoughts, Dostoevsky delves into the profound psychological complexity of the underground man. His self-destructive tendencies and volatile emotions reveal a character torn between a longing for connection and a deep-seated distrust of human relationships. The underground man's internal conflict underscores the existential challenges of navigating personal identity in a society that values conformity over authenticity. Themes of spite and self-sabotage. One of the central motifs in Part 1 is the underground man's embrace of spite and self-sabotage as forms of defiant individualism. His deliberate acts of antagonism towards others reflect a desire to assert autonomy and resist societal expectations. Dostoevsky explores the existential consequences of spite and resentment, revealing how they become coping mechanisms for individuals grappling with feelings of powerlessness and insignificance. In summary, Part 1 of Notes from Underground serves as a profound exploration of existential themes, including alienation, authenticity, and the search for meaning in a world marked by disillusionment. The underground man's introspective musings challenge readers to confront uncomfortable truths about the complexities of human nature and the enduring struggle for individual autonomy in a society defined by conformity and rationalism. Dostoevsky's narrative style immerses readers in the psychological depths of the narrator's existential crisis, setting the stage for a profound philosophical journey into the depths of human consciousness. Part 2. Apropos of the wet snow. In this section of Notes from Underground, the narrator recounts a specific incident from his past, a dinner party with former schoolmates, that serves as a microcosm of his profound alienation and existential angst. Through a series of fragmented memories and introspective reflections, Dostoevsky delves into the narrator's complex relationship with social interaction and his deep-seated resentment towards societal norms. Social alienation and disillusionment. The underground man's behavior at the dinner party reflects his profound sense of alienation and disillusionment with social conventions. His deliberate attempts to offend and provoke his acquaintances highlight a fundamental tension between the desire for connection and the impulse towards self-sabotage. Dostoevsky exposes the existential consequences of social alienation, revealing how individuals grapple with their own sense of insignificance within the framework of communal interaction. Individual autonomy versus social conformity. Through the narrator's erratic behavior and defiant attitude, Dostoevsky explores the existential dilemma of asserting individual autonomy within a conformist society. The underground man's refusal to adhere to social etiquette underscores a desperate desire to transcend mediocrity and assert personal agency, even at the cost of personal relationships. This conflict between individuality and social conformity underscores broader themes of existential authenticity and the search for meaning in a world marked by societal pressures. Psychological complexity and self-destruction. Part 2 delves deeper into the narrator's psychological complexity, revealing a character torn between a longing for connection and a deep-seated distrust of human relationships. The underground man's self-destructive tendencies and volatile emotions reflect an internal conflict between the desire for authenticity and the fear of vulnerability. Dostoevsky explores the existential consequences of spite and resentment as coping mechanisms for individuals grappling with feelings of powerlessness and insignificance. Themes of free will and determinism. The narrator's deliberate acts of defiance at the dinner party challenge deterministic views of human behavior and highlight the theme of free will. Dostoevsky emphasizes the underground man's capacity for irrationality and spontaneity, underscoring the existential imperative of embracing uncertainty and individual autonomy. This exploration of free will versus determinism invites readers to confront uncomfortable truths about the complexities of human nature and the enduring struggle for personal agency in a world governed by societal expectations. In summary, Part 2 of Notes from Underground serves as a poignant exploration of existential themes, including social alienation, individual autonomy, and the conflict between authenticity and conformity. Dostoevsky's narrative style immerses readers in the psychological depths of the narrator's existential crisis, revealing the profound existential consequences of navigating personal identity within the constraints of societal norms. Through the underground man's introspective musings and self-destructive behavior, Dostoevsky invites readers to confront the complexities of human consciousness and the enduring quest for meaning in an indifferent universe. Part 3, The Crystal Palace. In the final section of Notes from Underground, the narrator presents a provocative philosophical diatribe known as the Crystal Palace, where he imagines a futuristic utopian society governed by rationalism and scientific determinism. This imagined world serves as a dystopian vision of human existence, devoid of spontaneity, individuality, and genuine human connection. Critique of utopianism and rationalism. Dostoevsky uses the concept of the Crystal Palace to critique Enlightenment ideals and utopian socialism. The narrator vehemently rejects the notion of a perfectly ordered society where human behavior is entirely predictable and governed by scientific laws. By portraying the Crystal Palace as a soulless and mechanistic environment, Dostoevsky warns against the dehumanizing effects of excessive rationalism and technological progress. Embrace of human irrationality and freedom. Through the underground man's critique of the Crystal Palace, Dostoevsky champions the importance of human irrationality and free will. The narrator argues passionately against deterministic views of human behavior, emphasizing the existential necessity of embracing uncertainty and individual autonomy. By defending human unpredictability, Dostoevsky invites readers to confront the limitations of rationalist ideologies and deterministic thinking. Symbolism of the Crystal Palace. The Crystal Palace symbolizes a utopian vision of societal perfection, where human existence is reduced to a series of predictable calculations and scientific principles. This metaphorical construct reflects Dostoevsky's skepticism towards technological progress, and his critique of the Enlightenment's emphasis on reason and progress. The Crystal Palace serves as a cautionary symbol of the dangers of reducing human experience to mechanistic control and the loss of authentic human connection. Existential imperative of embracing complexity. The underground man's impassioned defense of human unpredictability underscores a broader existential imperative of embracing complexity and uncertainty. Dostoevsky challenges readers to confront uncomfortable truths about the limitations of rationality and the enduring mysteries of human consciousness. By rejecting deterministic views of human behavior, the narrator invites us to acknowledge the profound existential freedom inherent in embracing life's inherent unpredictability. Reaffirmation of individual identity. Part 3 reaffirms the novel's overarching theme of individual autonomy and the existential quest for authenticity. The underground man's rejection of the Crystal Palace represents a defiant assertion of individual identity against societal homogenization. Dostoevsky underscores the importance of embracing one's own contradictions and asserting personal agency in a world that often seeks to impose conformity and uniformity. In summary, Part 3 of Notes from Underground serves as a powerful philosophical manifesto that challenges deterministic views of human behavior and celebrates the existential freedom of embracing uncertainty and individual autonomy. Dostoevsky's critique of utopianism and rationalism invites readers to confront existential questions about the nature of human existence and the enduring quest for meaning in a world marked by technological progress and societal conformity. Through the underground man's impassioned defense of human unpredictability, Dostoevsky offers a profound meditation on the complexities of human consciousness and the existential imperative of asserting individual identity in an indifferent universe. Overall themes and philosophical implications. Alienation and existential angst. Notes from Underground is a profound exploration of existential alienation and the profound sense of disillusionment experienced by the narrator. The underground man's retreat from society reflects a broader theme of alienation prevalent in 19th-century Russian literature. Through his introspective musings, Dostoevsky exposes the existential angst of individuals grappling with their own sense of insignificance and disconnection from the world around them. Human irrationality and free will. Central to the novel is the underground man's vehement rejection of determinism and rationalist views of human behavior. Dostoevsky challenges the notion that individuals always act in their own self-interest, or according to predictable patterns. Instead, he emphasizes the inherent irrationality and complexity of human actions, underscoring the existential imperative of embracing uncertainty and individual autonomy. Critique of Enlightenment ideals. Dostoevsky uses the underground man as a mouthpiece to critique Enlightenment ideals such as progress, rationalism, and utopian socialism. The concept of the Crystal Palace symbolizes a dystopian future where human behavior is mechanistically governed by scientific laws, devoid of spontaneity and individuality. Through this critique, Dostoevsky warns against the dehumanizing effects of excessive rationalism and technological determinism. Search for authenticity and meaning. At its core, Notes from Underground is a poignant meditation on the search for authenticity and existential meaning in a world marked by alienation and absurdity. The underground man's erratic behavior and philosophical musings reveal a profound desire to assert individuality and defy societal norms, even at the cost of personal relationships. Dostoevsky invites readers to confront the existential challenges of modern life and grapple with questions of identity and purpose. Paradoxes of human nature. Through the narrator's introspective monologues and self-destructive behavior, Dostoevsky explores the inherent contradictions and paradoxes of human nature. The underground man's simultaneous desire for connection and disdain for society reflects a broader tension between individual autonomy and the longing for communal belonging. This exploration of paradoxical impulses underscores Dostoevsky's deep understanding of the complexities of the human psyche. Limits of rationality and knowledge. The novel challenges the limits of rationality and scientific knowledge, suggesting that human existence transcends calculable patterns and deterministic explanations. The underground man's embrace of human unpredictability serves as a rebuke against positivist assumptions about progress and the inevitability of scientific control. Dostoevsky advocates for the acceptance of ambiguity and mystery as essential aspects of human experience. Existential confrontation with modernity. Notes from Underground confronts readers with the existential dilemmas posed by modernity, including urbanization, industrialization, and the erosion of traditional values. The underground man's isolation and bitterness serve as a poignant critique of a society increasingly defined by rationalism and materialism. Dostoevsky's vision challenges readers to confront the existential implications of living in a rapidly changing world. In summary, Notes from Underground remains a timeless masterpiece that invites readers to confront profound existential questions about the nature of human existence. Dostoevsky's exploration of alienation, irrationality, and the search for authenticity continues to resonate with readers, offering a profound meditation on the complexities of individual identity and the enduring quest for meaning in an indifferent universe.